Tom Brady turned 44 years old this month. His 22nd NFL season. Yes, 22 years. Whoa. Derek Carr entering year 8. Carr turned 30 back in March. Quote, I feel like I can play another 15 years without a doubt. Nothing's hurting. It's the middle of camp, and I feel great. I feel strong. I feel fast. I feel explosive, and I think it's just the way we train now. The only thing that's different is I've got gray hairs in my beard. I haven't grown it out in a while, but I've got 5 gray hairs. I feel like I'm 20. I honestly believe this. Our generation, the way that we take care of our bodies with football, I think 30 is the new 20. That comes with science, and that comes with more understanding. Carr said, quote, I honestly feel stronger, faster, better than I first did when I got to the NFL. And that comes with more knowledge on how to train, how to eat, how to take care of your body. And that takes a little bit of money sometimes, but it's definitely worth it. I'm sitting here in year 8. I remember people ahead of me talking about year 8 like, yeah, I'm miserable. And they can barely walk out of bed. I'm blessed, man. I don't have those problems. And I've had broken bones. But the way that they rehab and stuff nowadays, I feel great. End of quote. There's some truth here. There's a little pinch, a little dash of truth here. The truth of which Derek Carr is talking is that today's understanding of your body by a professional athlete specifically is superior to any other time in sports history and will only continue to grow. First of all, even though we're fatter and more disgusting as a country and a society, more obese than ever before, we have more information than ever before. Our food is worse for us in many ways, more processed, more preservatives, more artificial colors, all of this. It's easier to eat poorly than ever before, but it's also, we've got way more information than ever before. And if you want to eat healthy, it's actually easier than ever before. There's a healthy option now on every menu, no matter where you go. It could be a fast food joint. If you want to know how much calories are in a certain serving of anything, it's right there on the box, on the carton, or now on the menu. You're looking at the calorie intake, which can be very scary sometimes. If you want to quickly Google why you might be feeling bloated or gross or vomit-inducing, that's a pretty easy Google from your dinner table. Now there's recipes everywhere of healthy this, healthy that, swap this in, swap that out. Gluten allergy, peanut allergy, shellfish allergy, don't like this, don't like that. You can get that. It's way easier than ever. More information. So athletes are armed with so much more data on how to take care of the moneymaker. Look, most of America is fat because you can afford to be. Your job's not dependent on being fat. But professional athletes absolutely are. So, man, if you knew you got to keep your job by not being fat, well, then you use all of that information and all of that data and all of those recipes to make sure you got that check coming in because you guys still clear the mortgage this month. So Derek Carr is right. Science, wellness, health, diet, all far superior than it ever was. Number two, unlike most of America, these guys make so much money now that they can afford not only to have the best training, the best doctors personally, the best medical workarounds, and personal chefs. Plenty of these guys can just pay a personal chef to come over and be like, hey, you got to keep me in shape, so only give me stuff that'll keep me in shape. Now, wouldn't you love to have that? To where you're not working the 11th hour of your 8-hour day trying to grab your kids from soccer practice at the end of the day. You don't have time or the energy to come home and cook. And so you're just grabbing fast food on the way home and saying, here, feed yourselves. I got to go to bed. You got to go to bed. You got to take a shower. You got to do homework. And I got to crash. These guys have personal chefs made to order every single day because they are making 8, 10, 20, $40 million a year. Now, again, if you are trying to protect your $40 million a year salary, you're going to make sure you're not fat or out of shape. So Derek Carr is right in this regard as well. Players are making so much money, they can afford to invest $1 million a year on chefs, on hyperbaric chambers, on blood spinning, on all of this stuff that was not available to players making $400,000 a year or $100,000 a year or $50,000 a year. But there's also part of this where Derek Carr is delusional, which is kind of just perfect for Derek Carr because he's always kind of like this. Man, when I came into the league, I was playing with guys that were 8 years in and they couldn't get out of bed. Not quarterbacks. I mean, man, I'm 8 years in. I feel like I was 20. I came into the league. There were guys 8 years in that were miserable, couldn't walk out of bed. Yeah, they were called defensive linemen, offensive linemen, running backs, linebackers, the guys that actually get smashed in a car crash in every play. You don't. Derek Carr's like, I don't know. I feel great. You're a quarterback in 2021. If you don't feel great, you're doing something wrong. Look at the McCowns. They're not even very good. They've had jobs in the NFL for how long? They don't even start anymore. They barely ever did. Ryan Fitzpatrick still has a job. How old is he? He's never won a playoff game. Ben Roethlisberger has been fat, still playing. Yeah. If you're a quarterback, you're going to feel really good at 30 years old. I don't know, 30's the new 20. Not for running backs, dude. Not for defensive linemen. Those guys are getting smashed. Running backs are in and out of a league in 2.5 years. 2.5 years, the average career span for a running back. Derek Carr's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel great. You can't get hit in today's NFL. You literally are not allowed to be hit above the chest or below the waist. And you can't be touched in the helmet. Nobody can do anything to you. You better feel good. If you don't feel good, it's a problem. Quarterbacks will be able to play longer than ever before as time goes on because of the things that we just mentioned: science, wellness, diet, money. But also, they're not taking the wear and tear that you used to. And they're not taking the wear and tear that other players in the league are. You think Khalil Mack's playing until he's 45? You think Aaron Donald today feels just as good as he did at 20? Come on. Let's get real. It's still a violent sport for the guys that actually are playing violent positions. That's just not quarterback. And is Derek Carr going to play until he's 45? No. Because you know why Tom Brady is? Because everybody wants Tom Brady on their team. He's the greatest of all time. And even then, when he was a free agent, there was only a handful of teams that wanted him. I got an unfortunate message for Derek Carr. Derek, nobody's going to want you at 45. They might not want you at 35. In fact, the Raiders might not want you at 32. Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. He plays until he's 45. You got to have a job. You still have to have a job. You still have to have a team that wants you. Derek Carr is how many games under 500 for his career? He ain't playing until he's 45 because a team would have to give him a job. He's 47 and 63 as a starter. He's 15 games under 500. So, yeah, health is better, body, diet is better. All these things are better, but don't compare. I hate when guys compare themselves to Tom Brady, like when Russell Wilson wanted the Tom Brady treatment, or Aaron Rodgers wanted the Tom Brady treatment, or Deshaun Watson wants the Tom Brady treatment. Man, you guys aren't Tom Brady. You're not. He gets to pick all of his guys. He gets to pick his roster, and he gets to make all of the money. And he gets to still play at 45 because he's the greatest ever to do it. You're not. And I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer. Russell Wilson, probable Hall of Famer. Deshaun Watson, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. Derek Carr ain't any of those things. Stop comparing yourself to Brady. It's not realistic. It has to be said, Brady is one of one. To expect anybody else in the annals of NFL history to be able to play at a Super Bowl MVP level at 44 years old is insane. It's insane. Don't expect it. Don't predict it. He's one of one, and we have to get that through our head. He deserves what he gets because he's one of one. LeBron James is going to have nearly 20 years in the NBA, nearly 20 seasons of NBA basketball, and how many of those were deep into the playoffs and ending up in the NBA Finals. People are like, well, health, wellness, money. Can play longer than ever before. LeBron's one of one as well. Don't expect Anthony Davis. Don't expect Giannis. Don't expect Kevin Durant. Don't expect Devin Booker. Don't expect those guys to have that length and durability and longevity and get to call their shot the same way. That comes through earning it, being it. And people want to just put other players, other athletes in that camp. And that's completely unfair to LeBron, to Tom Brady, to the other greats of all time. Those guys are just unicorns. They have their own set of rules, their own set of expectations. Don't expect it to happen again. Don't predict it to happen again. LeBron's going to play at an MVP level until he's 39 or 40 years old and will have come directly out of high school. The duration of his greatness is going to be absolutely otherworldly. Already is. That's not just because health and wellness and money are better. That's not just because of that. It's also because him and Brady and the others that are still playing at that level at that age are just next level workaholics. Sorry, like Derek Carr's not as invested in his greatness as Tom Brady is. He's just not. He's not. And whoever compares themselves to LeBron, they ain't that either. Those guys have to just be held at a totally different level, and nobody should be trying to chase that. He ain't getting there.